Okay, so we'll give everyone just a few minutes to get logged in here because it always takes people just a couple minutes to see that the tweet is out. While everyone's logging in, I'll just do some quick, yep, see there's Science in Michigan. I told you he would join.
We were waiting for you.
So anyways, real quick, for everyone, I'm Wildlife Bio Gal Nicole Wood, and I'm here with Paula McIntyre, co-executive director of the Cerulean Center. And we're here live at Sleeping Bear Dunes. I'll give you guys a nice little behind the shot. Like you can see the beautiful dunes there behind us. So we're currently in the middle of their bioblitz. And so any questions that you have for Paula, feel free to just go ahead and start sending those in. We're going to make this kind of interactive. I'll ask a couple questions with Paula, you know, so we can get a basis of what's going on, all the activity behind us. I don't know if you can hear all the kids. I'll give you a little quick scoop of all the tent fun that's going back there with all the kids learning about science and everything. So I guess my first question is, tell us about the Cerulean Center. What is it? Why did you guys start it? You know, I'll just leave it up to you.
Sure.
Give us the spiel.
Sure. The Cerulean Center, we're a brand new nonprofit organization. We're focused on Great Lakes research. We want to promote understanding the ecosystem. And so this is our first event that we're launching. We want to engage citizens in science, and we want to open up that process of discovery and focus on open science, research gaps, and getting people excited about this wonderful place we live in.
So why did you guys pick Great Lakes area? Is it just all the scientists here were already doing Great Lakes research, or is it just, you know, the interest of the Great Lakes, you know, where you've seen that there was maybe a research gap that was occurring that you wanted to fill, or?
Sure.
It's a loaded, like, multiple question.
Well, first of all, we live in Michigan, so there's a reality factor, and we love the Great Lakes. I grew up in Traverse City, so Lake Michigan is, you know, just part of your psyche here. But I've also worked with the Great Lakes Commission and with IAGLR, and so it's just a natural, you know, passion, and has been that way for a long, long time. Some of my colleagues are also involved with Great Lakes research and with just a range of, whether it's the forestry, the aquatics, you know, just a real range of interests. So we're here.
So why Sleepy Bear Dunes? Is it just because it was close to where the Cerulean Center was, or just because it's amazing you guys wanted the excuse to be able to come play here?
All of the above. Part of it, the reality factor, is because we're based in northern Michigan, so this is our pilot project. We're starting, and we wanted to start small. And so we have 140 middle school students behind us. That's our small version. And tomorrow it's going to be open to the public. So if you're watching this and are in the area, come on down from 9 to 6, is pretty much 9 to 4, I should say. But we also wanted to partner with a place that needed this kind of activity and was interested in doing it. And with the Park Service having their centennial celebration and doing bioblitzes all over the country, this was just a great partner. So that's why we're here in this beautiful park.
Yeah, that was the interesting thing I learned this morning. Apparently the park services are doing 100 bioblitzes throughout the country. I believe is my understanding of what was being said. And so this is one of those 100 bioblitzes that are happening all across the country. So to be able to have it happen here at Sleeping Bear Dunes and be a part of it, it's got to be pretty neat, and to have it be your opening event to be part of that had to be really neat.
Yeah, this is our first programming, and it's actually their centennial. So the 100 is they're celebrating their 100th anniversary, and I think there were even more than 100 bioblitzes going on. Most of those were in June, and then this one, it just worked out to be in September. But
so tell us, what is a bioblitz for the people out there who don't know what a bioblitz is?
It's a race against the clock. You know, honestly, the easiest way to think about it is Pokemon Go, but with real species. So you want to go out and find and identify as many species as possible in a short amount of time. And so we are doing aquatics and plants and insects. We've got birding. And I feel like I'm missing one. So if you were out and saw something that I didn't say, chip in. Plants and birds, insects, aquatics. Who else am I missing?
There's always something that we're missing, and you find out like 5 minutes after the Periscope ended, you're like,
Yeah, we have it all. That is it.
Yeah, that is all. Yeah. Okay.
And lots of details to track. But yeah, it was cool because each of the groups of kids got to rotate and do 3 different excursions. So they all did an aquatics, they all did an insects, and they all did a plant or bird group.
Right, and if you were watching a few of the broadcasts earlier this morning, we did actually show you some of the sampling that was happening out in Lake Michigan. We were staining for fish out there, so you actually got to see scientists go out into the lake and bring back in a nice haul of fish right off the lakeshore there. And we also did one with the plants, so we got to learn a little bit about some of the endemic plant species that are here in Sleeping Bear Dunes, and some of the invasives that also come in as well. So I mean, there's some really great science, and I think that's the cool thing with a BioBlitz is it lets people get that hands-on
absolutely
look at science. Like all these kids right now are getting to see what us scientists do every day, and they get excited about it.
Yep.
They learn it's not so scary.
Well, and like seining in Lake Michigan with was that the 50-foot seine? I don't even know.
I think so, yeah.
It was a long seine. It was kind of like Poseidon going in and up to the neck with the end of the seine dragging it. So it was pretty cool. The kids were really into it. It's really wavy because I don't know if you can tell it's very windy right now.
Yeah.
So there were a lot. That was a fun one for the kids, I think, in particular. And then now the kids in the tent are scheduling, keeping everybody on track. They want to stay in there and stay with the scientists. And one of the little girls was filling something out, and she turned and said, "I want to be a scientist when I grow up."
Oh, that just makes yes.
This is
We've
what it's for.
converted one of us.
We're done. It's all worth it for that.
No, but I think that's the big thing. Like, I mean, I've got a young niece and nephew. They're 6 and 8,
yep.
And their exposure to me doing science and all of my friends that do science, it has them super excited about science. And I think that's the thing is you have to expose kids to science. If they don't get that exposure, they have no clue, and they don't see all the cool things. They don't. You have people who will be afraid of animals if they don't come out and learn. Oh, I can touch that, and it's not going to hurt me, and I can have it.
And it's exciting.
It's like it's cool, and it's and they learn all about it, and you lose that fear with that. And so that hands-on experience is so important.
And that's one of the things that I struggle with up here in northern Michigan. We don't have access and role models for kids to interact with scientists. So actually, your question about why up at Sleeping Bear, one of the things was I want kids up here to have that kind of experience. Living in Ann Arbor when I did, years ago, it was like everybody has a PhD and, et cetera, et cetera.
You've got a scientist on every corner.
Exactly. And so, I have a 13-year-old son, and so I have, all of those kids that I see, and it's like, I want those kids to interact with scientists and to have that natural excitement that comes from going with somebody outside and who can identify things and name it and put it in context for you. I think that's where the real joy comes from and the excitement. So
just to pop in here real quick, so we're live at Sleeping Bear Dunes National Lakeshore. You can see the dune right behind us here. Amazing. If you guys have never had a chance to come up to northern Michigan to see the dunes, it's definitely worth the trip up here. It's one of the jewels of the Great Lakes. We're here with the Cerulean Center's co-director Paula McIntyre talking about their first event where they're doing a BioBlitz today and tomorrow. We have, what did you say, 140?
140
middle school kids here learning about science, getting to go out and interact with scientists and interact with the animals that we've been collecting. And then we're also getting to see just all the amazing stuff that we're here. So they get hands-on and we get hands-on stuff. So.
And the other thing I guess to point out is this is the first in our Great Lakes BioBlitz series, and so we're hoping to be doing these BioBlitzes around the Great Lakes region. This is our pilot, so we're trying to develop a model out of this that other communities can use and other groups and whatnot. Hopefully our next one is going to be in May in Detroit with IAGLR.
Yeah, that would be great. I'm really excited about that one.
So we're, in the funding planning mode at that point, or at this point, but that would be an awesome one. And I'm thinking, Blitz the Border would be a great name for that one because it's a binational one, and partners maybe on Belle Isle and in Ojibwe Prairie and Windsor.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great.
What the thought is right now.
Yeah.
So, fingers crossed.
And think of all the kids that you can hit in that area, too, that might not have access to all of those scientists and be able to have them there and be able to get them excited about it. I mean, you think of a lot of school districts in those areas are really poor, and so they don't necessarily have the opportunity to be able to go out and do all of these things, and so that way you're bringing science to them and being able to showcase it to them in such an amazing way that hopefully will get them excited about science.
Yeah, and it's also IAGLR's 60th anniversary, and there's been like 700 scientists at those meetings, so there's a ready group of at least the aquatic side. Now we need to recruit other disciplines, but that's a lot of coverage. So.
But if you have any questions, feel free to send it in. So go ahead and ask away. I guess you're saying you want to do a model for other places in Michigan. Do you think you might, once you get that develop successfully, do you think you want to go outside of Michigan and do the whole Great Lakes
Oh
Basin?
yeah, definitely. It would be for the Great Lakes Basin for sure.
Got
to think of that whole ecosystem, right?
Right, yeah.
It's all connected.
Yeah. Are you guys gonna do so what kind of like research are you guys like looking at doing in the near future for people looking to see like what the Cerulean Center is gonna be doing besides bioblitzes? Like what other kind of like research are you guys gonna do?
You know,
hopefully, like I'm sure there's a lot of like things that are in the grant stage, waiting for things to come through. But
well, and honestly, we are so just launching that I'm not even gonna go there. But because literally, this is our first event,
and okay.
Yep. So we'll leave it at that.
Okay. Yeah. So, but anyways, since there doesn't really seem to be any questions coming in right now, we'll let Paula get back because she's super busy today. If you guys have any other questions about the event today, feel free to tweet me at Wildlife Gal or tweet the Cerulean Center at Cerulean Center. And we'll be here for a little bit more this afternoon. And then there will also be another bioblitz tomorrow, which we'll also try to do some periscopes for. So. With that, you guys have a great afternoon. Thank you, Paula, for joining us.
Nicole.
Yep. And you guys have a great one.
Take care.